Everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make a file folder card flip. Now the file folder part of it is just to make the card out of, and hopefully you like it. I think it'll be a quick and easy little project. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. Now you can use for your base or your background, whatever, you can use file folder or cardstock. I would only use like a lightweight cardstock. You can use index cards, anything that you can, glue your paper to. So these are 6 by 4, and that would be the size of the larger size index card. So you need three of them. So you're going to have one for your back piece, you're going to have one for a front pocket piece, and then you need another piece to cut another small pocket. Unless you have a scrap piece, then you won't need the third one. So I went ahead and inked around everything. I inked around this side of the back piece because you only need to ink the outside. Yeah, I'm sure when I get all done I can ink all the way around it. Now for our front pocket, you're going to fold a 1/2 inch in from each side, and I scored mine, just made it easier to fold. So let me see if I can see my bone folder. There it is. I'll just kind of flatten them down a little bit more. I did them in advance just so it doesn't take so long on the video. Okay. Then in the center of this front pocket piece, you're going to want to make a thumb notch. So I went ahead and measured it and made a little mark. So halfway between would be 2.5. I'm not going to cut it too deep. And then I'll just go ahead and ink that. Okay. Then we're going to take this part here for our front pocket, and we're going to glue it on to our back piece. And we're going to glue it. Now you're going to have to figure out which end you want your pocket to flip from. Is it going to flip over to the left, or is it going to flip over to the right? However you think you want. If it's going to flip to the right, you're going to have your hinge on this side, and then it would flip this way. If you're going to flip it to the left, you would have your hinge over here and it would flip this way. So, well, I just don't know. Let's see it on a piece of paper that would kind of be like your book page. If you're going to put it on this side, I think you're going to want it to flip this way. So then you would move your pocket over here, and then it would flip out. Because this will be folded back under, so it's not going to be hanging out over the page. It would be folded back under. So it would be flipping like this. If it was on this side where you opened your page like that, then I think I would put it on the left side. But I think I'll put it so it hinges on the right side. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're going to go ahead and glue this down. We're going to glue down our folds and then across the bottom. So how's everyone been doing today? Good, I hope. Might have to unclog my bottle. I used it earlier, so you know. This tip is a lot easier to unclog than the little tiny one though. But I need to put my little tiny tip back on my regular bottle so I can use that when I have small stuff. And I'll just put a little under that flap to make for sure that, you know, it doesn't come apart down there. Okay, and then we're just going to put it to the edge. Just line it up with the edge. Okay. Now with the little gussets in there, you'll be able to put a little bit more in your pocket. Okay. Now for this here, you're just going to fold it over, and I'm just going to use my bone folder just to crease it a little tiny bit, just so I don't break it too bad. So we're just going to fold it over. And then we'll fold it back. Okay. And then I'm just going to ink down this edge. And then I'm going to have to make for sure that my glue is set. So that's your hinge. So your hinge will be glued underneath. So it would be this way, then it would open up. Okay? All right. Now on the front, we're just going to go ahead and decorate. And let me see. Make sure that I have what I need here. I just did some book page. It's quite a long time, and I haven't cut it to go right out to the edges. I don't think it has to. It's been quite a long time since I've done with book page, and lately I'm starting to again, and I think I like it. Now, I don't know, maybe some of you think I should have cut this just a little bit bigger. I actually tore it. It was just some that was left over. So I just tore it. I inked around it. And, okay, I had to check on something a minute. Okay, now on the bottom, I'm going to glue some lace just because I thought it would give it a little something. You know what? This is almost empty, so I think I'll just use this. I think this should hold the lace okay. Thought about putting lace across the top, but I have my thumb hole up there, so I'll just put it across the bottom. or my thumb notch, whatever you might like to call it. So we're just going to now I'm sitting here talking to myself, sorry. Now I have this little flower. It's a hyacinth, I think. Love these things. Thought I would put that on there, and I have just, I don't know, like a little label or whatever you might want to call it. And a little purple butterfly. So I'm going to glue the label down first. If you needed a lot of some kind of pockets, well, these would go pretty fast. I think you could whip some of these out in no time. So I'm just going to put that like that. And then these could either be sewn into your journal, like on your hinge, or just put in with a paper clip or something. Well, that's not straight. Or just sit in a pocket. If you don't want to put paper on them, you can just, you know, if you just have a solid background, you can just stamp it. Okay, so there would be our front, and then it would just flip over like this. So now we'll turn it over and do the back. Now, because I forgot about this hinge being on here, that line right there is not going to be my center. So let me erase this line. And I'll have to cut this to size. So just a second and I'll tell you how long it is. Make sure that it doesn't go into my fold, because you don't want it to go into the fold, because then you won't be able to use your hinge. And I think that'll be good. All right, so this is 2.5 inches by 5. So 2.5 inches by 5. So I'm not going to put, let me see. Yes, I am. Scratch that. I'm going to put the thumb notch here. So I'll put it right there. Let me ink down this side so I don't forget. And then probably I should ink down this. Just so it looks like it was inked when I open it up. Now I have too much stuff sitting here. Okay, so we're just going to do a thumb notch, and I'm just going to use, I'm not sure what size this is. I'm going to put a real big one. I'll just ink this. So I'm going to glue my 3 sides down. I don't drive my glue straight. Make sure that still folds over. I might have to just trim that a little tiny bit. See if I can trim it without cutting the other part. There. I think that's good. Okay. So now on my pocket, down here on the bottom, I'm going to put a piece of this lace. Let me cut this off straight. I'm going to put a piece of lace down here. Hopefully I'm up on the camera where I belong. Maybe better put a little tiny bit there, just to hold that corner. And maybe just a little tiny bit there, just to hold that corner. Okay. Now, I shouldn't have put this on first. Let me see if I can slip this up without destroying it. Yes, yes, I can. Because I forgot my paper. So I'm going to glue see, there I go again, forgetting what I'm supposed to be doing. I think I'm actually trying to hurry and I shouldn't be hurrying. I want this with a little tiny bit of border. And I want these cut so my little center thing matches up. Okay, so there's my first blunder. Is that my first blunder on this? I think so. I can't remember. There should be one in every video. I don't cut too much of my stuff. You know, I don't take my papers out and just pick papers and cut them as I'm going. I generally try to cut everything out in advance. So sometimes I have to recut stuff, and then sometimes, well, I just get ahead of myself. that's okay. So we're just going to turn that down just a little. Okay. Make sure none of my glue come out. Then I can just go ahead and glue up that side. Oops. Well, that's a lot of glue. Yep, that was a lot of glue, so I had to fix it. And then we'll just come up this side. And I might have to just glue this corner. Definitely, when you watch my channel, you get to see the real thing. Okay. So we have a pocket here. And we have a pocket here. Now I can take this lace off of here and glue my paper down. How's that? Kind of thought when I put that lace on there it didn't look quite right. See, now I cut these so this line here kind of lines up. Even though it's set off to the side of this thumb notch, I wanted that line to line up. Then I knew it wouldn't look so bad. Okay. Now we can put some glue across here, and seeing as how I had some paper on there, I'll just do a different piece of lace. Okay. Sorry, I'm making noises over here. Now, on this one, I have this flower, and I don't really know what the flower is, but I thought it was kind of cute. So I'm going to put that on. We're just going to put a little label. With a little number. Goes this way. And a little butterfly. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my butterfly on. Can't remember if that butterfly on the other side had his little antennas or not. Now I want to glue this label on first. And I really can't read what it says. Just going to set it in there, something like that. And we'll glue the flower down. this little number 8 on there. For other reason, then I don't know why. I guess it just looked good there. I just thought it needed something. Okay. Then up here on top, I'm going to put some of this little narrow lace because this doesn't have thumb notch or anything, and I thought that would just make that look pretty. So that is the back of our pocket. So this is the front. Let me put my lid on my glue. Clear this stuff out of the way. So I guess I have it going. This is the front, so I guess I have it going different than what I said. And, well, that's okay. We don't mind at all. So it's going to flip out to the left. So it would be glued on your page. You can have it up or down, whatever you want. And then you would flip it out. You'd have a pocket here. So while we have our pocket right there, I'm just going to use tags that I made in a previous video. So little journal tags. And they're made out of book page also. So they look cute in there. And then I have these two bigger ones. Now, they could be just a little bit longer, but these are what I grabbed out. And then I'll just stick these in here, and they can just stick up a little bit. And this one can sit in here. So isn't that cute? I think that's kind of cute. And then you would just open it out, take out your little tags, write on them, and put them back. Okay, everyone, so let me know down in the comments what you think. That's my video for today. If you like it, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. So I hope you come back to see me again for my next video. And until then, everyone, happy crafting. Bye for now.